I wrote this to the head of prosecution, Advocate Baloyi, to say, based on the instruction of the family, this case 636, can the prosecution be stopped in this case? Because the arrested people are wrong people.
No.
Why are you going to read it?
They arrest me because I'm in this case. Okay. That's the reason.
Is this
You must read the right.
Have you read him this?
No, let's go.
The person who has put us in this trouble, the person who has put this court, this trial into shame is the state, who failed to disclose such a crucial information.
On Wednesday, the 8th of June, the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial was again abruptly adjourned because Advocate Zandile Mshololo, who is defense counsel for accused number 5, wanted time to study another case docket that she had just received. The only case docket that she had seen was case number 636. It indicts 5 men who allegedly conspired to murder Senzo Meyiwa in October 2014. And is premised on the assumption that there was a mastermind still to be named who wanted Senzo dead. But the state prosecutor, Advocate George Baloyi, had only disclosed case docket 636 in the pre-trial process. Case docket 375 only surfaced on Monday, and Advocate Mshololo demanded time to study it to see what ramifications it had for her client's presumed innocence and her defense thereof. The theory embedded in that docket is that the fatal shot was an accidental discharge of a loaded revolver that one of 7 survivors of the tragic incident, Longwe Twala, had brought into a house party at Kelly Khumalo's mother's home in Vosloorus. Until eyewitnesses testify on that scenario, the court cannot prejudge the matter, and we need to presume everyone named in both the dockets to be innocent until proven guilty, whether they have been formally indicted or not. That's the way the justice system works. Besides Advocate Mshololo, many journalists seem to have also been surprised to learn of the existence of the second docket. But the fact of its existence had already been revealed by Advocate Malesela Teffo, who represents the other 4 accused, 6 months ago at a conference hosted by the University of Pretoria's Centre for Human Rights, to which the media were invited. A 90-minute film of that conference is up on my YouTube channel, but given the current controversy over the 2 dockets, I thought it would be helpful to pull out Advocate Teffo explaining the mystery of how 2 dockets for the same case emerged and why he agreed to take over from the Legal Aid Board the responsibility to defend the other 4 accused. Not only to defend their plea of not guilty, but wrongful arrest. Just to explain my interest in this matter, I'm a social worker who has a professional duty to defend and promote the constitutional rights of especially those who are vulnerable, disadvantaged, and suffer social injustice and exclusion, especially where power relations are asymmetrical and lopsided. That is why the rule of law and access to courts and fair judicial process is so important. I am not a judge, so it's not for me to decide on the guilt of anyone accused of any charge. I was alarmed when I heard Advocate Teffo and the other participants relate their experiences 6 months ago at that media conference. However, given the startling inputs by Mary de Haas, Aris Danikas, Patricia Machale, Sinkobile Mapisa, and Senzo Meyiwa, detailing their experiences of the miscarriage of justice on several different fronts, I was not actually too alarmed when the police entered the court on the 28th of April to arrest Advocate Teffo. Besides, I had seen the police arrest another good lawyer friend of mine, Richard Spoor, 3 years ago in equally dramatic fashion when he was trying to mediate in a rowdy visit of the Minister of Minerals, Gwede Mantashe, to Kolobeni. Now that saga can be viewed on this link that is appearing above. I had also seen the retaliation since the media conference against Patricia Machale by her superiors in the Free State Police Command because she disclosed wrongdoing in the firearms registry, nepotism and other corrupt practices in SAPS. Her statement on that saga can be viewed in this link now appearing above. However, what did shock me about Advocate Teffo's Hollywood-style arrest in court was the blatant fabrication by the South African Police Services in their version of what happened. In their statement, they claimed they had not intended to arrest Advocate Teffo inside the courtroom, but only did so because he had left the courtroom and when he saw them, hastily went back inside. Now that is simply not true. I was there. The only person who had left the court was Judge Shafiwa Maumela. The accused was still in the dock, the witness was still on the stand, and the media still had their cameras rolling. And Advocate Teffo had still not packed away his files. What lawyer would leave his notes open on the podium and leave the court? He was cuffed and taken away, and his attorney and I had to finish packing his bags for him. Well, notwithstanding the appalling multiple failures we have seen in the criminal justice system, I believe the Senzo Meyiwa trial has become a proxy indicator of the state of our criminal justice system. How it plays out will be a prophetic portent of where we are heading as a country. I think it's brought us to another fork in the road, and to paraphrase D. Hock, the CEO emeritus of Visa, the situation is so bad and the problem so insoluble that now is not the time for pessimism. I really do believe we are on a path that will take us back to the rule of law, back to a national prosecuting authority that does act without fear, favour or prejudice, and back to a South African police services that actually serves. Please subscribe to my channel if you want to be kept well informed on the progress we make on this path back to truth, justice, peace, and the rule of law.
I'm the one who appointed Advocate Teffo Malesela after we noticed that the police arrested wrong suspect, since I was advised by people who wanted this case to be solved. And we met with Advocate Teffo. He worked for police service for 19 years. We trusted him because of the cases that he won, and we agreed in terms and conditions. There is no funding for this. He's doing this out of the heart because he's an advocate for human rights.
Greetings. My background, I joined the police in 1995. So from 1995 until when I resigned from the police, I've worked various units within the police. As a constable or student constable, I've been the Bobby on the trap, patrolling, attending the complaints as a normal police officer. By the time when I resigned as a warrant officer, I already had my degree as an LLB, which I studied while I was in the police. Fast forward, it was last year, around October. Sifiso, he wrote the letter to NPA, to Advocate Baloyi, informing them that I've been appointed as a watching brief for the family in this matter. So they shouldn't be surprised as the stakeholders in the matter. Also, the police were informed. As we know that the late Senzo Meyiwa was a breadwinner at home, a very, very philanthropist by nature. Senzo has got 3 young children. The third thing is that the youngest one needs special attention with the wife, Mandisa. The family now find themselves in a very much abject poverty. There was a time when I sit down with the Fiso. So Fiso, because here there's a situation here. There are a lot of things happening here. In the police, I saw something that was so unprecedented. The investigation in this, the murder case, was compromised a lot. There was no professionalism that was shown. The same applies in the sister unit or directorate of South African Police Service, which is the NPA, the prosecuting authority. This case was compromised full time. There was no professionalism that was shown. On the 26th of October 2014, after the shooting and the murder of our brother. This case, it has gone through more than 100 hands of the people considering themselves to be investigating this. Unfortunately, let me say, it's an open secret now, today. Today, we've got the Minister Kelly as the Minister of Police. He used this case to campaign for his position as a Minister of Police to the current president. He told the president that once you appoint me, I will crack this case. Indeed, he was appointed on the 26th of February 2018, because this matter was postponed again in October. It appeared before the court in October this year, 25th of October, and then the case was postponed to April next year. We reconvened and then wanted to get the new direction from the proxy of the Meyiwa family, Mr. Senzo Meyiwa. He broke to me a very, very sad news. Look, advocate, my father, Mr. Senzo Meyiwa, has passed on without even seeing justice done to the brother. Now the matter has been postponed to next year, but the people have been arrested. Will this happen to my mother? Pass on without even seeing the justice. Where will this leave us as the siblings, the brothers and younger sisters? And I did promise people, I said, look, in this matter, I'm going to be with you. Money is not an issue. We have to go where we have to go. Senzo is a man of God. Senzo believes very much in prayer. So as long as we can hold each other in prayer, we are going to prevail. They've made a breakthrough in the conference that was held on the 25th of October 2020, when they announced to the people of South Africa.
Today marks exactly 6 years since former Bafana and Orlando Pirates captain Senzo Meyiwa was shot dead. But with no arrest, hope of whether or not Senzo Meyiwa's killers would be found began to fade away for some, but not for us in the South African Police Service. During these past 2 years, the Senzo Meyiwa murder case generated speculations of who could have been responsible for the sports icon murder. Despite this, the investigators never lost sight of their work at hand. After gathering sufficient intelligence information and evidence, I'm happy to announce that there's been a breakthrough in the Senzo Meyiwa murder case. The first 5 suspects have been arrested. These arrests are as a result of multidisciplinary integrated approach to this investigation, which is working closely with the Director of Public Prosecution. The South African Police Service and the prosecution team are confident that we have a watertight case against all 5 suspects. In conclusion, for us in the police service, it was always important to take time and work thoroughly on this case to ensure justice for Senzo Meyiwa.
Voila, come the 25th of October 2020, people appeared, court box back. But people refused to get into the dog box where the accused are supposed to get in and be told their rights and be told the allegations against them. These people done something unprecedented that never happened in the history of this country. And I don't think anywhere else it has ever happened. They refuse to get there. They say, no, we are not. We are being framed here. And one of them said it clear that people who are supposed to be here, they've got the money, they cannot come here. So we are found to be a vulnerable people. We are scapegoats. That thing surprised many people. Even the magistrate was surprised. Normally, when there is the people, the suspect or the accused of a high-profile case that to appear, is a tradition, is a norm in this country, whereby you will see a reinforced security, the police service, the TRT, the task force, and all those, you may name it. But surprisingly, in that scenario, what was on the side? It was security beefed up by the prison warders, beefed up by the Ekurhuleni Metro Police, the heavily armed prison officials, heavily armed Ekurhuleni Metro Police officials. You are told by the whole Minister of Police and the senior management of South African Police Service that we have breakthrough in the case. People will appear tomorrow. But amongst those people, none of those people who were in the house when the disease was shot and killed, none of them. South African Police Service is working, is professional. The NPA is working, is professional. There's a prosecution. Prosecuting without fear, favor, and prejudice. But that was not the manner in which we know prosecution, the way we sue this. I was appointed after that first appearance. And my meeting after that with the Swiss was that, advocate, we don't agree. Those people are not the right people. Our standpoint as the family here, we can tell. During the time of my brother's killing or shooting, their alibi was not relevant to that address, house number 13511, Kutano Street, Muzamo section, Vosloorus. If you can be able to pin their phones, it will never put you anywhere next to that scenario on the 26th of October 2014. Now, why would the South African Police Service do that? The right people were not brought. Are they being protected? What is happening? I've also explained to him what is happening to me. I didn't vote this year because on the 1st of November, 4:30 in the morning, 3 police officers came to my place in Joburg. I was arrested, taken straight to Hosimampuru, where I was sentenced without having appeared before the judge. The allegation against me was that there's a contempt of court, which I don't know. I've been forced to terminate the mandate as a watching brief in this matter. I tried to be strong, and I didn't want to tell the brother to say what is happening. The might of the state was used against me. 3 weeks ago, there was an article in the City Press talking about the new twist in the Senzo Meyiwa's case. I'm part of those people in that article. There are a lot of conspiracy theories about what happened in that house. What is surprising, when I was doing the investigation myself, there are the preliminary issues in the investigation when you do the investigation. Firstly, you have to confirm where is the scene of crime. Then what is next? Who are the witnesses? You obtain the statements. Then the witness will lead to who is the doer of the action, and you will approach the alleged doer of the action. The disease has been shot by mistake. That was the first theory. The brother was by mistakenly shot. Then the theory of mistake is now, as the case goes on, the progress in investigation, other theories develop. There were intruders on the day, 2 intruders. One is torn with a firearm, one is shot with a knife. Those intruders got inside the house. And when they find those people who were in the house, the people were 8. When I say 8, I'm also including the deceased. These 8 people, they knew each other. They knew the disease is their hero. They knew him very well. So 8 people knew each other. 2 people came, tall one, short one, tall one with a firearm. That cannot even be explained. Short one with a knife, started to chase everybody in the house. Until later on, these other 7 people realized that the disease had been shot on the chest, slumbered next to the couch in the sitting. Nobody saw anything. That's when we come back from we try to run for our cover, run for our safety because of these 2 people. So now, that's where now the theory of intruders. Now we've gone past the theory of mistake. Then time goes on. Because according to me, there's nothing complicated about that matter. This case could have been long been dealt with and finalized if people were professional or if people were honest. I just find it very much unfair. The Center for the Human Rights at the University of Pretoria is looking after the justice. This case, it was treated in a manner that was so discriminating. And that discrimination was not in such that it was given special attention. It was discriminated in such a way that it should fail. The right people should not appear, should not see the day in court. The Meyiwa family never say, our son was international soccer star. We need a special treatment. We need a special investigation. They never said that. We need a professional, a clear, undiscriminating investigation. When there was announcement that there is a breakthrough in 2020, October the 25th, what the people never knew about is that, because there were two teams here. This matter was investigated initially by Colonel Lieutenant Colonel Joyce Buthelezi, and Warrant Officer Makubu. Those are the seasoned investigators. Later on, the team of National Commissioner and the Minister was imposed on them. That team is not a secret about that. It was a team led by Brigadier Kininda, Bongani Nicholas Kininda. We should say the name because this person was investigating officer and he was the leading investigating officer. Even now, I spoke to him. Then investigating officer Kininda and his team of 2 officers, they took over the matter. Makubu, Buthelezi are distancing themselves from this arrest. The case that I said is not known. Is case number, is a Vosloorus case number 375 of January 2019. This was opened by Colonel Buthelezi. Why that case? Because it was realized that on the 26th of October 2014, the charges are defeating the ends of justice and murder. Why defeating the ends of justice? Is because on the day of the incident, somebody cleaned the scene. That we know that the scene of crime should be secured by the police. No one should tamper with it. But the scene was tampered with by one of the 7 people in the house. In the house, the shot were 2. It's not disputed. The firearm came with one of the people among the 7 people. It's not a dispute. And this person, the NPA, through the prosecutors, Advocate Nzuki and JJ Detroit, is the one that, together with Nzuki, they were responsible for this case that is not known. Advocate Detroit went on pension before this matter can be dealt, and he was coming right. There is indictment of 7 accused. Yeah, there is indictment of 7 accused. When these people were arrested, there was intervention from the police, from the NPA, in particular from the police, because the right people who were in the house could have been arrested during the time of Advocate Detroit and Nzuki to issue the warrant of arrest. Then the police came and said, no, don't arrest those people who were in the house. We've got the people that will, they are going to confess. Stop arresting those people. Stop issuing of the warrant of arrest for those people. Then came 5 people. The people who are leading, who want to be seen to be participating in this, they didn't want this case to be known. They say, no, this case, we'll deal with it later. If we fail with this first case, we can come to this case of Joyce Buthelezi. In the meantime, our case that should come in the public domain is this one, whereby the leading investigator is Brigadier Kininda. After the consultation with Fison, I wrote this to the head of prosecution, Advocate Baloyi, to say, based on the instruction of the family, this case 636, can the prosecution be stopped in this case? Because the arrested people are wrong people. There is the case number, so-and-so, that we need it to be prosecuted. They are the suspect. And those suspects, they've already, for the lack of the better word, they are already incriminated themselves. The suspect in this case of Advocate Nzuki and Advocate JJ Detroit, they confirmed their alibi on the 26th of October 2014. They said we were there and confirmed that we saw the disease was shot. But as to say who shot the disease and other things, those are the relevant things for the court. It's a substance. So what we are saying is that these people, they need to go in court and to tell the court, this is what has happened. Because these people in that case number 636, they say they cannot tell anything. They said they were not anywhere next to the scene. They are being framed. I didn't get the response from Shamila Dito. Instead, I got the response from the prosecutor, Advocate George Baloyi. Then I phoned him. I said, Advocate Baloyi, with the due respect, Section 6, if you don't know, the provision of Section 6 for your information, I need your boss to respond. You responded to me. You know the standpoint of the family. Can you believe that the prosecutor in this matter asked me as a watching brief, He said, Advocate, what is the family's standpoint about our arrest of 5 people? I said, the family said, you have made a blunder. The prosecutor is not so sure about the suspects in his case. How is it going to start formulating the strategy of making sure that these people are convicted if you are not sure as a prosecutor that I've got the right people? Where on earth have you ever seen such happening? This case is going to reveal to the people of South Africa. The prosecutor is not so sure about the people arrested. He just said to me, no, Advocate, insofar as this matter is concerned, we have responded to you on the 5th of February, 2021. He wrote only 2 paragraphs responding to my representations in terms of Section 6B of Criminal Procedure Act, which needed Shamila Baloyi as the head to say, we stop the prosecution in this matter. Because I even schooled him. I even said to him, Advocate Baloyi, look, I was expecting that Advocate Baloyi will call everybody who's involved here, including your boss in South Gauteng, DPP, Mr. Chauke, including your boss in North Gauteng, DPP, Mr. Mzinyati. But now it seems as if Advocate Baloyi, she doesn't want to entangle herself in this one. You are stand alone now. You are left alone, Mr. Baloyi. And next week, there is a press conference about this. You know what Baloyi said to me? Good luck, Advocate, about the press conference. He said, good luck today. I said, no, I'm going to tell it all. And I'm going even to say that. It's not a secret. We are talking. And there is also the outstanding meeting that we're supposed to have attended with the family. That never worked, never materialized. Isn't it that when I am the bereaved family, my relatives has been killed, and the police, they've made an arrest. The prosecution prosecuted. Will I not be the first one to be informed with every development in this matter? But what we find strange in this matter, in particular, in relation to the prosecutor and the team led by the Brigadier Kininda, these people, they don't talk to the family of Meyiwa. They treat family of Meyiwa as the enemies because they don't agree to their arrest and their prosecution. Now, instead, the team that has been sidelined is the team that is giving the family the progress, the team of Buthelezi and Makubu. So that's where the matter is now. So no response from Advocate Baloyi. And what's surprising, people got arrested by the police. They got prosecuted by the prosecuting authority. And these people, when they were at court, they said, no, we don't need the bail. And we don't want to hire the lawyers. Why is the NPA and the police forcing these people to have the lawyers from the legal aid? People are forced, they are imposing the legal aid people on this so-called, I don't know whether to call them suspect or accused. The first day when they appear in court, the 26th of October, 2020, these 5 people are not charged. And what does it mean if you are not charged, but you have already appeared before the court? It means that you appeared before the magistrate or the presiding officer in court without having been told the reason of you coming before this presiding person. You are not told you are right. You are not told the reason why you are in court. You just find yourself in court. Hence, those people are saying, no, we are the scapegoat. Today, they find themselves being the serious accused of having killed the late Senzo Meyiwa. The people who are supposed to be here, they've got the money. They cannot come here. We are afraid. But now, something that is a mystery, and you need to think about it. And the reason we say, the people in the house must go to court to tell the world what happened. 7 people, there is a need that they must go to court and explain. That 5 people, they've got nothing that they can tell the world. Now there is a need more than ever before that 7 people, by hook or crook, they must go to court.